So let's talk about moving a 401k. Sometimes inertia is our friend, sometimes it's our enemy. Now, when we're talking about an old employer, you got a 401k, you're thinking, do I move this thing over to an IRA? Do I move it to the new 401k? What should I do with this thing? There's some considerations I want you to think about. Number one is administration expenses. When we're dealing with 401ks, you have admin fees. Now, some employers say, well, we pay all of our fees for our employees. Well, that's not the management fees on the portfolio. That's administration, third-party administration, testing the plan to make sure it's not discriminatory. Now, if you have left a 401k, you may still be paying those administration expenses for the other employees. So sometimes that's a big push now, is keep all your money here with our 401k, because that spreads out the expenses amongst a lot more employees and even former employees. That may not be necessarily good for you. Got required minimum distributions. We've had people where they're over the age of 70 and a half and they have to take RMDs out of IRAs. But if you have a 401k and you're still working there and you are less than a 5% owner of the company, you don't have to do those RMDs. So sometimes it makes sense to leave your money in the old 401k. You can also do what's called a backdoor Roth. Now it's really complicated aggregating rules regarding this, but some people can't contribute to a Roth IRA because their income's too high. Now this may be good for some people, not for others, based on what your tax rate is now versus your average tax rate in retirement. Complicated, but just realize there may be reasons here to leave money in an old 401k. And the other thing is less is more. If we look at 401ks, we see now a big push to reduce the number of options for employees because we don't want to confuse them. But the problem is less isn't necessarily more. If you have, and these articles actually talk about that, where you actually have so few choices that you really can't diversify in a 401k plan. So sometimes it does make sense to actually move for that reason. So lots of things to think about when leaving your 401k. Should I stay or should I go now? Sometimes it's good to stay. Sometimes it's good to go.